Hi little skeletons, it is Disney Queen Skelly here, and welcome back to the Reacting to Marathon. Today we are taking a break from Harley Baby's videos and watching a cute and crazy video. Today's cute and crazy video is actually one of the more popular ones on the channel. It's called The Secrets Game number 3. Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm cute.
I'm crazy.
And guess what? Secret game number 3! Because this stack is so damn many cards that we can't finish it in like one sitting. So, you remember how this goes, and if you don't, we'll remind you for those people who are new. So, we'll ask questions based on certain cards, and you have to pretty much spell out your secrets.
And you have to guess whether the person's lying or telling the truth.
God, my acne was so bad, and it's so bad right now, like, I try not to touch my face. I really try not to touch my face. And I wash my face every morning, and I put on hydration lotion every night so that way my face doesn't break out in oils. But, like, lately, my whole, like, it's, like, from here to here, it's been so dry, and, like, it's been breaking out like crazy. And I'm trying to wash my face, like, so, like, guys, I haven't had, like, at time of recording, it is currently February 10th, and it's a Wednesday, and I haven't done, like, a facial routine in, like, a week. Almost a week. So my face is suffering. I need to do like a mask. I need to do a nose strip. I remember I used to get acne under my lip a lot, and it's hilarious because I had acne scars for a while under there until I pretty much got like a facial, and I think I ended up buying like a serum that would erase acne scars, and now I don't have any acne scars. It is just all freckles when I have no acne on my face.
Exactly. So we're going to get 10 cards each, which means 20 cards in total, and you'll get to learn a lot about us through our truths and our lies. So let's get going with this.
I wished I was a member of the opposite sex when...
I wished I was a member of the opposite sex when I walked into the boys' bathroom because I had to pee. No one needs to even ask. I think all of us have gone through that.
Had to pee so bad we've gone into the men's room.
I don't ever remember doing that.
Okay. The most fun I ever had in a hotel room was...
The most fun I ever had in a hotel room was... when me and my boyfriend checked into one, and, well,
Lie?
That's a lie.
I'm like praying, fingers crossed.
Please tell me that's a lie. I was sorry I borrowed blank from a friend because...
I was sorry when I borrowed PJs from a friend because I forgot to wash them.
Is that true?
No, I couldn't think of anything. Let me tell you about my most unusual vacation.
Let me tell you about my most unusual vacation. Okay, so, me and my mom went on a road trip to my first concert. It was a Jonas Brothers concert. And at this concert, I ran into the lady who played Christine in the movie version of Phantom of the Opera. And I have no picture proof of this because I forgot to take a picture with her.
Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay, so
I feel like she actually did have a picture, that or her mom had a picture, but I remember seeing a picture of her and the lady who played Christine from the movie version of Phantom of the Opera. I feel like I've seen that before.
what were you telling me about that?
It wasn't actually a road trip, but mostly true. One of the most outrageous lies I ever told was...
Isn't this a paradox within itself? One of the most outrageous lies I ever told was last night when I was at a wedding anniversary and I told them that I was 21, old enough to drink champagne. One of the strangest phone calls...
That had to have been semi-true because the guy, if I remember correctly, the guy was going around just pouring champagne for anybody who had a flute. So he just kind of kept pouring and pouring and pouring, and I didn't stop the guy, so I was like, shit, yeah, I'll take some champagne.
calls I ever received was...
One of the strangest phone calls I ever received was... I got a random phone call from somebody in Wisconsin. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was asking me if he could borrow a glass of milk.
False.
Yes. One of my biggest...
See, and even if it was true, this is why I like a mode on Apple devices, and I have found it on Android devices too, and like in Samsung, because I've done this for hubby. There's a setting, there's a thing in your settings where you can silence unknown callers, and it has saved me so many spam calls. Now, unfortunately, when you start applying for jobs, that kind of gets a little iffy, because if they try to call you and they go directly to voicemail, you can get those people that are like, oh yeah, just calling for Amanda, or for Deanna, or for Caitlin, for a job interview, blah blah blah. And sometimes they just won't leave messages at all. But that's why I feel like when you're applying for jobs, you turn that mode off and just answer any call that comes your way, because even if it is a scam call, like, you don't want to like not answer the person that you're trying to get hired at. Like, that just seems totally unprofessional, and then it'll maybe seem like, oh, like, we can't rely on this person because they're not answering their phone.
Pet peeves is one of my biggest pet peeves is nail biting. That is true.
Still true to this day.
I scream at my mom every time she does it. With friends, I don't care as much. I really don't care if a friend does it.
I bite my nails.
But when my mom does it, it annoys me so much.
My mom, I don't necessarily say it anymore. Usually when she starts biting her nails, I walk away. Hubby tends to bite his fingers, like when he has like skin hanging off of his nails, or like if he has something in his teeth, he'll like kind of try and grind it out. But it's like every time he bites his hand, I'm like, seriously, like, that's a pet peeve of mine. Why do you bite your hand? If you have a hanging, like, loose skin, like, I get that, like, maybe you can peel it with your finger or like use a nail clipper, but please do not bite it. That is a horrible habit.
You're annoyed by everything your mom does. Let's be honest here.
I still don't get along too well with my mom to this day, and it kind of sucks, but I mean, it's just clashing personalities, and we don't exactly see eye to eye 90% of the time. And one pet peeve of mine that she does is she likes to finish stories. Like, she likes to add her own thing to it, and it's like, no, you need to listen. You can't just keep cutting in every 5 seconds and not let the person tell the story. Like, I tried to call her out about that the other day when we were celebrating my birthday, like 4 days ago at time of recording, and she was like, Manda, shut up. And I was like, you're the one who's like your sister's the one who's trying to tell a story, and you're the one interrupting. Why are you telling me to stop talking? Like, you need to not interrupt people. It's a huge pet peeve for a lot of people, especially if they're trying to tell a story. Like, my dad's even called her out, like, Joanne, let this person speak. And it's so annoying. She needs to knock it off.
Okay. One of the most satisfying things I ever made with my hands was...
One of the most satisfying things I ever made with my hands was...
No.
She knows what I was about to say, too. Okay, I'll be serious. One of the most satisfying things I ever made with my hands was a cake pop.
True.
Yes.
I actually know that because she made some for my Halloween party.
Her cake pops are pretty good.
They were yummy.
Cake pops are so good. Cake pops are so very good. You may not believe this, but I would never go to bed without.
You may not believe this, but I would never go to bed without my stuffed animals.
That is true.
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Still holds true to this day. I'd sleep with a Nightmare Before Christmas teddy bear, and I'm not talking like a Jack teddy bear. I'm talking like the teddy bear from the movie. And then I also sleep with a Zero plushie.
Coraline and Pluto. As a teenager, the biggest argument I had with my parents was...
As a teenager, the biggest argument I had with my parents was about 3 months ago, because technically I'm still a teenager, even though 18 is considered legally an adult, you still have the word teen behind it. So, about 3 months ago, I wanted to sleep over at my boyfriend's house. And my dad heard my mom and I talking about it, and he started screaming.
That is true.
No, that's false.
What? Well, Kite.
Here's how.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, because I wasn't technically going to announce this for another 2 years, because it's not technically set in stone, but it is kind of set in stone at this point. In the next 2 years, hubby and I plan on trying for a baby. And yes, we are going to be moving out next year, and we actually are going to be having a place of our own, so this won't be, difficult. But we were planning to have a child in the next 2 years. And coming from a soon-to-be mother's standpoint, I can see why this would be an issue of letting your kid out with a boyfriend to spend the night at his place. Because granted, yes, 18, you are a legal adult, but you are also fresh out of high school. You might just be barely hitting college. You may still not know what you want with your life. And if at 18 you know what you want to do, that's perfect. But you also may not be in a stable relationship. I know some people who do have their high school sweethearts, and I think that's fantastic. but I would also not place your money on it. So if you want to go spend the night at a boyfriend's house, I would be hesitant to say yes. Like, I asked my parents if I could spend the night at my boyfriend's house when I was 16 and they let me. I personally wouldn't let my child do that. Like, if they went to something that was late, I'd pick him up. Hubby would pick him up because hubby's a night owl. Not me personally, but I know hubby could stay up till 4 a.m. and pick up our daughter or our son from a late night function. That is not an issue. Or like if they don't want to drive, like, to the late night function, like if they don't want to drive from the late night function, fine. Get someone to drive you and we'll pick you up. You're not taking your car if you don't want to drive back home from the function, because if all you're wanting to do is drive back to your significant other's place and spend the night, I don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, unless I fully trust the person they're with, which even then I'd still be hesitant, I would not let my child sleep over at somebody's house until, one, they were at least 20, in their 20s, because I know at that point you're not fully mature, but I know at that point you're making less stupid decisions than you were when you were a teenager, at least hopefully. 2, you had your own mode of transportation, and 3, you had some sense of responsibility. And you could also, pay for the gas for the trips. I'm sorry if I sound like super strict on that, but that is just my 2 cents on that.
I met my lover/spouse.
Okay, I'm gonna say now this is true. It was earlier this month, and I was on iFunny on my roleplay account, and this guy messaged me out of nowhere, and, while he was playing with one of my characters, and I thought he was really cute on his profile picture, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll message him. So I ended up messaging him, and then sometime later, we got together, and we've only been together for about almost 2 weeks now. That's my story.
It's cute.
Who was I? Oh my god, if I'm with who I think I'm with, that relationship did not last.
To avoid getting a ticket, I once told a police officer.
To avoid getting a ticket, I once told a police officer that if I didn't get to a hospital in the next 2 minutes, I would die.
False.
Yes.
Okay.
From personal experience, I know that one great way to cheat on a test is...
I don't cheat on tests!
I can answer this one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's actually a lie. I did cheat on one test growing up, and it was a test that was actually going to either pass or fail. Basically, it was you're going to graduate or not graduate because of this one test, and I did cheat. I used my phone to look up an answer to a question or an answer to a vocabulary word, and then I was able to answer the rest of the quiz from there because it was all fill in the blanks. And I almost got caught, and I was like terrified. I like slid my phone underneath my dress so my teacher wouldn't see.
I felt so out of place when I
walked into the band room even though I'm a choir kid.
True?
Yes.
I feel awkward walking into the choir room even though I'm a theater kid.
Okay. One of the dumbest outfits.
But see, I've done band, I've done theater, I've done choir, so I don't understand why it would be awkward walking into any of those places.
My mother ever made me wear was...
One of the dumbest outfits my mother ever made me wear was senior picture. She made me put on her black and white striped sweater, even though I had one myself. These are nice pearls, but the outfit itself was horrible, and so my senior pictures turned out horrible. It's true. And the only pictures I'm allowing her to buy are the ones in my cap and gown.
That is still true to this day. The only pictures we have are the cap and gown pictures. I refused to let her purchase the ones for my senior picture, and it kind of pissed me off because I had nice clothing at this age, so I don't get why she wouldn't let me wear some of my nice clothes. I had a really nice shirt on for my junior year pictures.
So, yeah. Okay. So, to break a date once, I used this excuse.
To break a date once, I used this excuse. I couldn't go out because I had to babysit and I was vomiting up blood.
True?
No.
Oh.
Have you guys seen those acne commercials where it's like, you'll make up any excuse to leave the house? One of my favorites is, my cat really needs me, and the cat just like jumps off the girl's lap and like runs away.
The first part would have been true.
The first part would have been true.
Okay.
One of the funniest stories my mother tells about me is...
One of the funniest stories my mother tells about me is when I was at my abuelita's house and I dug a hole in her garden and stuck my head in it, and I was tiny, so it was about from waist up that I was buried.
I was like a baby and I just went thunk into the hole.
Cute.
Yeah. It was actually pretty funny.
That's cute.
I think I got my name. Okay. The most obnoxious neighbor I ever had was...
My current neighbors right now.
Most obnoxious neighbor I ever had was... I lived in a 2-story apartment. Like, the downstairs was an apartment, the upstairs was an apartment. And these upstairs neighbors would not stop banging on the floor at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to run upstairs to their house, bash their door in, and chop their heads off.
This is so true.
It is.
She doesn't rant like that unless she's being brutally honest. Okay.
I actually paid to see
a movie.
That can't be a lie.
I actually did sneak into a movie once, though. But it was after I bought a ticket for another movie. I did the movie hop.
I did? What movie was that for? I don't remember doing that.
One of the worst ways I ever reacted to a declaration of love was...
One of the worst ways I ever reacted to a declaration of love was say, "Ew, but you're like a brother to me."
True.
That is true.
And actually, is that person that you've mentioned beforehand?
That's that person that I've mentioned before.
So that's it.
I don't remember who it was.
That was our 20 in total. So we'll obviously do more of these in the future because we have so many cards to go through. Sorry if we did some repeats. What happened was, I picked up the box and the cards just flew.
Yeah, it was funny. You should have seen her. She looked at the ground like her life just ended.
I could totally see that happening.
Okay, we'll see you guys later. Bye, my little mice.
Bye, psychopath.
So this one was pretty cute, and I will say the Secrets game number 4 is actually the most viewed video on Cute Baby Boo, or at the time Cute and Crazy, at 1.6 thousand views. Don't know how that happened, but it just did. I will give this video, we'll go 8 out of 10. I will say this though, the only reason we're starting the Secrets game over is because of that particular reason, that we have started over the game so many times and then lost track of the cards that it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. So I feel like once we get back into it and we finish the Secrets game, it'll be done, over with, and we could just put this playlist aside for good and just kill it. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The original video will be linked in the description box below. Don't forget to follow Cute Baby Boo, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, little skeletons. Stay safe, and I love you guys.